Hi guys, Artem here, and as you probably guessed from the title, I got my Steam Deck. Let me power it on so it looks better. There we go. I got my Steam Deck. So you know it's not a 3D printed shell. So anyway, I got my Steam Deck and I'm not really an avid gamer. I mean, I play now and then, sometimes. By the way, Windjammers 2 is just an amazing game to play with your spouse. It's gonna create a lot of conflict, but it's fun, really fun. Anyway, to the point. I always liked Raspberry Pi. If you don't know what Raspberry Pi is, it's a miniature computer, right? And you can do a lot of things with it, right? It's really powerful, well, compared to its size and price, it's really cheap. And I have a few Raspberry Pis laying around somewhere, but it's a bit more complicated playing with Raspberry Pi. You need a display, you need this and that. But when I heard about Steam Deck, I was really excited. It's like Raspberry Pi but on steroids. Sure, it's a gaming console, but it can do so much more. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, what is a Steam Deck? Steam Deck is a handheld console created by Valve, and it can be compared to Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch Lite, PSP, if you had PSP by the way and you jailbroke it, and well, really good times there by the way. But anyway, it's a handheld console like Nintendo Switch, but compared to Nintendo Switch and PSP, it took a very different approach. So this is basically a PC, and sure, you can game on it, but you can do so much more with it. If you think about Nintendo Switch or other consoles, they are usually a very closed ecosystems, right? You have console, the hardware itself, and they don't really want you messing around with it. They don't want you installing mod chips and upgrading memory and so forth, right? It's like a closed system. Then software is also a closed ecosystem because you cannot install your own software, you cannot run other operating systems and so forth, right? It's a very closed ecosystem, and for a reason, because it's made to make money. It's a distribution for software that they sell, so they don't really want you to install, I don't know, Microsoft Game Pass on PS4 or 5, right? They want you to be kind of stuck in their own ecosystem. Valve took a totally different approach. They created a device pretty much based on PC components. They also want you to mess around with it, and they made messing around with it very, very easy. So basically you can install Windows. Now there are no drivers for Windows yet, but I'm sure those are coming very soon. You can run alternative operating systems. You can install other game distribution software like Epic Store and so forth. You can pretty much do whatever you want. It's also easy to repair, or so I heard. Mine works pretty well so far, so hopefully I don't have to repair it. But they also want you to be able quickly, for example, to change joysticks if you want to. So basically they want modding community to do whatever they want with it, with the device, right? So in the end, it's a PC, right? It's a PC that runs Linux operating system tuned for this specific device. And basically the shell, if you think about it, the Steam OS is just a software that runs on top of the Arch Linux operating system. But what is really awesome about the device is that they let you go into Linux mode, right? I mean, you can use game mode that they have here. By the way, can you hear? Yeah, sometimes for some reason fans kick in. I don't know why. I'm not doing anything really taxing on the device, but it just kicks in for some reason. And again, I'm sure a lot of glitches will be fixed in future firmware updates. But yeah, for now it does that. So anyway, they let you go into desktop mode where you are basically you have access to everything, right? You can do pretty much anything you want. You want to install additional software? Sure, you can do it. You want to tweak CPU parameters? Sure, you can do that. And that's what gets me really excited. Basically, this is a very powerful, it's a really powerful device. Has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a very fast hard drive. I have the cheapest model, so I have 64 gigs, but yeah, it has memory card slot, so no problem there, and pretty fast one. And it has a very fast GPU for this size. So it's basically like Mac Mini, but in a better form factor with a display, joystick, and everything else. And yeah, I think for somebody like me who likes playing around with computers like Raspberry Pi, this is a dream come true. So my perspective when it comes to Steam Deck is to see what it can do beyond gaming. Sure, gaming is fun and it has emulation layer that allows you to play Windows games and yada yada yada. But my interest is in non-gaming functionality of this device. I want to use it as a Linux desktop, maybe for a week, for a month, we'll see. And I want to see what it can do, right? The modding community and just community in general will be doing amazing things with Steam Deck in upcoming months, and I'm just really excited about it. But if you think about it, Steam Deck is an ecosystem, open ecosystem, and it's going places. So let's talk about the size. You can see the size here. It's not a small device. It's a chunker, but it's surprisingly usable. I mean, it's not very heavy. It's definitely sizable, but it's good. It's good. I mean, you can spend an hour or two. I yesterday played Hades for like I think 1.5 hours, and it was a great experience. I didn't want to let go of the device. It was really, really ergonomic. It was easy to hold. It didn't get really hot. It was really good. Compared to other devices, here is Steam Deck, here is Nintendo Switch Lite. You see the difference? I see the difference. But I don't think Steam Deck weighs a lot more. It's definitely, well, this one has a case on it, obviously, so it's not maybe a fair comparison, but here it is. Nintendo Switch Lite and Steam Deck. So yeah, if we look at my smartphone, here is iPhone 13 Pro Max. You see, it's a big boy. It's definitely a big boy, but surprisingly usable, and ergonomics are top notch. I sometimes keep hitting those buttons or triggers on the side, but yeah, never been a problem so far. Yeah, so far, size and ergonomics, I would say excellent, just excellent. So when you get your Steam Deck, what do you get in the package? Well, I have the cheapest version, so all of Steam Decks are pretty much the same when it comes to components. The only difference is the hard drive. Mine is 64 gigs, which is puny, but they have very fast memory card reader, so you can stick a terabyte memory card there and boom, you're golden. Loading speeds should be comparable to the internal drive, so it's fine, I think. They also, in the cheapest version, right, they give you a carrying case, which is awesome. It's not a small carrying case, that's for sure. So this is the carrying case, right? But it's good. I mean, you can place your device and that's it. Now you have your Steam Deck in a case and you can carry it around. Looks fine, I think. And I'm amazed that they were able to provide so much value for about $400. I think it's pretty amazing, to be honest. Yeah, Nintendo. learn from Valve and start giving us goodies. So yeah, of course you get the charger. It's a 45-watt charger and it's okay, but then again it's a PC, so you can charge it using USB-C port with pretty much any charger you have laying around, maybe MacBook charger or something that you use for your Android device. Doesn't matter, you can charge it pretty much with anything. Yeah, but I guess everything that comes in the box is charger, Steam Deck itself, obviously some manuals, and the carrying case. If you have a more expensive model, you might have, I think, a screen protector as well or something like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm interested in the cheapest version and I think it's a really good value. And now that we know after many reviews that memory card reader is very decent, I don't really think there is any reason to buy a more expensive version. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Setting up Steam Deck is really easy. You just power it on, set your language, time zone, insert your Wi-Fi password. I wish they had WPS setup included in the system, so I could just log into my Wi-Fi using one button, but unfortunately they don't, maybe someday. And after that, a few updates and boom, that's it. You can start downloading games and playing and enjoying your Steam Deck. So setting up process is really easy. Only thing that comes to mind is that when you update your firmware, it looks really weird, the screen, but otherwise, yeah, it's just smooth sailing after that. Because Steam Deck is a PC, basically, you can do anything you can do with a PC. So USB-C port can be used to connect, for example, different dongles. If you're a Mac user, you might have a lot laying around. So this dongle works perfectly. It allows me to connect it using HDMI to an external display. You can connect Ethernet adapters. You can pretty much do anything you can do with a PC, and that's awesome. That's really, really good. I had some troubles with the power pass-through in this adapter in particular, so maybe that's just a kink, but that will be worked out in the next update. But yeah, everything has been working really, really good. And you can also connect external controllers like this Xbox controller, because it has Bluetooth. Yeah, no problem there whatsoever. Basically, you can do everything you can do with a PC. And I know it gets kind of tiring, but that's what Valve has been saying all along. They say, it's a PC. If people ask, oh, can you connect a Bluetooth, I don't know, headphones? They say, it's a PC, so you can. Can you connect Xbox controller? It's a PC, so yeah, you can connect Xbox controller. And Xbox controller is like very well supported on Steam Deck, so it's a really good experience. So what it's like playing on Steam Deck. I have connected external controller, my Xbox controller, via wire. It's just easier for me. I couldn't connect via Bluetooth for some reason. I'm sure I just needed a little bit more time, but I was impatient, so I just used USB-C cable and connected it to my dongle, USB-C dongle. I have connected USB-C dongle to Steam Deck, and from there I connected HDMI to my capture card, so I'm able to show you how it looks like. Now it will run in a higher resolution because of the capture card, so now it's running at full HD. If you're playing using the built-in screen, it will be a lower resolution. So if you see a little bit of stuttering there, it's just because of the HDMI output and higher resolution. But still, it works really, really well. So when you have your Steam Deck opened, you will be spending some time probably in your library. So from the library, you see a tab called Great on Steam Deck. Those games are verified to work really well on Steam Deck. They have support for Steam Deck input and run really well on the Steam Deck hardware, right? They're basically optimized for Steam Deck hardware. And my favorite game lately has been Hades. I spent quite a lot of time playing Hades, and it's just an awesome game all around. So if we look at other games, we have All Games tab, right? And here you see games that are not verified to work on Steam Deck. I mean, they might work, they might not, it depends. But again, you have all your games here. And then you have games that are installed. I have 2 games installed, Bayonetta, awesome game, and Hades, right? If you press on the Steam button, you'll be able to go to home screen where you have your games, you have some news and stuff like that. You can also go to store. It will go to Steam store. Now it looks a bit weird in full HD mode, but anyway, you see games that are optimized for Steam Deck, right? So obviously Elden Ring, it's been like a phenomenon, right? Everybody's playing now Elden Ring. You can play it on Steam Deck as well. We have, after that, friends and chat, media for videos and for screenshots, downloads. When you're downloading games, you can see progress here. Settings. Let's go into settings because settings are fun. So basically here you can see if you need to update your Steam Deck. You can also change your update channel, so you can change from stable to, for example, beta. So if you want latest and greatest features and you're not afraid of a few bugs, you can go to beta, and that's pretty awesome. Developer mode, if you want to tinker with the underlying system, right? And then some basic stuff like formatting, SD card, and so forth. Then we have internet, connected to Wi-Fi, obviously, notifications, display. Obviously, there is some adaptive brightness, so it looks at how much light there is around you and adjusts the brightness according to it. There is night mode, obviously, for gamers. So if you're playing at night, it can reduce amount of blue color and reduce the brightness and so forth, and some other power saving options. We have audio, right? You can connect the Bluetooth speakers. There is also a headphone jack, so you can connect your wired headset as well. And then you can enable internal microphone or disable it or set its gain. Basically allows you to do voice chat in games. Besides that, there is controller. Now I'm using external controller, so it recognizes it and it works as it should, so all good. Keyboard theme, if you want to change keyboard theme to something else, so for example Steam Green, this is how on-screen keyboard will look like, nothing fancy. I like the default one. This is how it looks like, pretty good I think. And then we have some friend related settings, privacy, visibility, downloads, right? Family, if you want like library sharing and stuff. Remote play, I haven't tested it, but I've heard that remote play is pretty awesome on Steam Deck. Storage, yeah, you see here I have 64 gig version, and I think there is like 40 plus gigs available for games. Then how does the home look like? And then if you want to add game to a library, you can do it there. But those are some basic settings. If you click on options, it's located on the right side of the Steam Deck. You will be able to go to quick settings where you can see notifications, your friends, you can set brightness, right? You can place Steam Deck in flight mode and so forth. You can see how much battery you have left, and then estimated amount of time that the device will stay powered on. right? If you continue using it as you've been using it recently, and then just some general information. Yeah, but let's go into game, right? Let's play a little bit of Hades. Wait. There we go. It wasn't installed, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, obviously Steam Deck has quick resume. So if you exit the game, you'll be able to resume it if it's supported on Steam Deck, which is pretty awesome. It supports cloud saves as well. So if you're playing and you decided for some reason to continue on a PC, you can do that. Your save files will be obviously synced. Okay, let's play. As you see, it's very snappy, very snappy. I mean, this is obviously not a very demanding game, but still, it's an awesome experience. So yeah, let's go kick some ass. Okay, begin escape. Okay. Okay, well, obviously I'm not going to play on camera for very long, but you see it's very, very smooth and just a really good experience. So even if you connect it to an external display, in many cases you can continue playing games you play in handheld mode without any kind of reduction in performance. Like this is it just works as it should. A really good experience. But that's it. Obviously gaming on Steam Deck is a very, very good experience. Performance is great, and I think more and more games will support Steam Deck, obviously. And I think it will just get better. Gaming is fun, no doubt about it, but Steam Deck can do so much more. So let's go into a desktop mode, right? So if you click on Steam button and go into Power, and from here you just, press switch to desktop. So now Steam will actually exit the big picture, big picture mode, so to speak, that is on by default, and will go into desktop mode. And now I can put the controller aside and I can just use my mouse and my keyboard. Once you are in a desktop mode, you will just have access to regular Linux desktop, which is awesome. You can install additional Linux software, you can get access to the terminal, and you have access to sudo, so you can install and do system-wide changes if you want to. You can obviously use your browser, and look how fast it is. Let's just load some clips on YouTube. Yeah, look how fast it is. It's very snappy. I mean, internal GPU is just amazing. Pretty damn awesome. And I think this is the part of Steam Deck that excites me the most, because this allows you to do amazing things using this wonderful performant device. You can basically maybe install even like video editing software. You can install emulators. Maybe you can use it for some, I don't know, Wi-Fi testing. I mean, there is so much you can do in this mode. I mean, gaming is fun, like no doubt. But I think this is what gets me excited. And I'm looking forward to installing additional software here, testing its performance, and using this maybe as my main desktop just to see how good is Steam Deck. But yeah, this is just awesome. So what do I think about Steam Deck? At this point, I think it's a great device. Not amazing, it's a great device. But once community starts coming up with creative ways of using it. Once community will start modding the device and creating new software for it, I think this will be an amazing device. Amazing device. I used to play with my Raspberry Pi, but I thought it's always so cumbersome. You have to connect display to it, you have to connect keyboard and so forth. This device has a display, it has different methods of input, it has support for all the peripherals that you ever want, it has a battery built in, it's easy to carry, and it runs Linux. Optimized version of Linux, especially for Steam Deck, and it's open. You can install anything you want, you can tinker with it. Just be careful, don't void your warranty, so don't open it up unless you know what you're doing. But even opening it up is easy, and you can actually swap parts really easily. Again, Valve has done a tremendous job creating an open ecosystem. So for now, great device, great value, but I think in a half a year, I think this will be an amazing device. If you found this video helpful or useful, please like and subscribe and comment. It really helps me a lot. Thanks a lot. Until next time.